Hello, my name is Joe Eagan. I'm the council representative from Ward Number 3, and welcome to Council Action for December 12th, 2022. The Florissant City Council met, and the beginning of our meeting began with a special presentation honoring and remembering the life of former Councilman Tim Lee. Councilman Tim Lee, 66 of Florissant, passed away on November 30th, 2022. Tim and his wife, Kathy, raised 3 children, daughters Lorraine, Melissa, and Nicole. They have 6 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. Tim worked for St. Louis County for over 30 years before retiring in 2012. He served on the City Council representing the citizens of Ward 1 for 15 years, and before and after this time, he served on several boards and commissions, including the Board of Adjustment, Board of Appeals, and most recently, the Planning and Zoning Commission. Tim was passionate about his family, his community. He will be missed by many. After our presentation, our special presentation from Mr. Lee, we had 2 public hearings scheduled last night. Both of these public hearings dealt with a property that will eventually, ideally, become a new bank in the city of Florissant. However, the developers had not provided the appropriate needed documentation for the public hearings to proceed. So both of these public hearings were moved to the January 9th, 2023 meeting. In old business, we had no bills for second reading. We went to new business. Mr. Parson from Ward Number 8 appointed Ms. Debbie Bryant to the Citizens Participation Committee. We then had several liquor requests. We had a request for a beer and wine package license with tasting for the Narrow Gauge Brewery, which is going to be located at 1545 North Highway 67, and that was approved by the council. We had a second full liquor by the drink license request for Plush Lounge. Plush Lounge, as you know, had applied for a liquor license which was rejected about a month ago, and they came back with a second application for this liquor license. Upon reviewing the application, it was determined that they lacked the necessary documentation for the council to proceed on this request. They did not have the appropriate number of residents that lived within a certain distance of the business to proceed. So this was again also pushed to the January 2023, the first meeting, to give the applicant the time to gain the necessary signatures. We then had several bills in first reading that we acted on. We had 2 traffic-related bills, one to remove the parking at Boone and St. Catherine. For years, there has been a parking prohibited at that location on Fridays between 4 and 6 p.m. And I believe the genesis of this was the fact that the bank used to be directly next door, and between 4 and 6 on a Friday was a busy time for the bank and caused grief to the residents when people would park there to use the bank. But as we know, the bank is now gone and banking in general has changed. So we authorized removal of that no parking, prohibiting no parking there. Secondly, we added 2 crosswalks on St. Francis, one at St. Jacques and one at St. Pierre. And these were both under the recommendation of the Traffic Commission. The third ordinance that we passed last night was requested by the Chief of Police in order to enhance our seatbelt law that we currently have on the books. We passed what is called a primary seatbelt ordinance, which gives our officers greater authority in enforcing the seatbelt ordinance. We concluded our meeting with council announcements and our fondest hopes from the City Council that all residents in Florissant have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.